Hi, everybody. We're going to do a little Q&A today. Probably the most frequent question I am asked is, why should I use a travel agent? Which is a slightly arrogant question to ask a travel agent, but I digress. There's many reasons for why you would want to use a travel agent. And I'm going to give you an example of one today. It's TipsyTravelGal story time, but it's not about one of my travels. It's about one of my clients' travels. So I went through a highly recommended tour company. This couple wanted to do a self-driving trip through Europe. I booked everything through them. I fit all the pieces together because that's the hard part, by the way. Fitting all those pieces in, making sure that the airfare lines up and that they have transfers to and from the hotels if they need it, and all these different pieces. It's a little bit easier when you're using a company that specializes in like guided tours, even if they're self-guided, because they usually have an itinerary and they know where to send people and they handle all the heavy lifting. You're just doing all the communicating. That's probably the most difficult part, other than, wanting to go on all these trips that you're booking for people, which is always a challenge. Really, once it's done and paid for, the heavy lifting of my job is done. Unless the tour company that you're working with falls apart and has the worst customer service ever. My clients first, they flew into an airport and the car was at the other airport. There's two airports in Belfast. The tour company flew them to one and put the car at the other, which, good work, guys. And then turns out when we booked the tour in January and they booked the hotels, they had them staying in there in January instead of when they were supposed to go in May. So when they went to check in at their hotel, they didn't have a reservation. And the reservation, by the way, was paid for all the way up front. These poor clients, and they're arriving, it's the middle of the night. They call the 24-hour hotline. The 24-hour hotline tells them to call their travel agent. Like, that's going to help any.